Well, we have been walking through this book, The Treasure Principle, for the last several weeks, and we are in chapter 4 now. And in chapter 4, Randy brings us to one of the biggest problems that we face here, especially in the United States, in dealing with the ideas that he's been talking about and how we think about money and how we spend money and how we give generously of the money that we do have. And the problem that we face is a problem called materialism. Essentially, materialism is the desire that we have to fill up our lives with material blessings and things. This is what causes us to get into a cycle of trying to keep up with the Joneses, as it's said, where we see what other people have and it causes us to desire to have those things as well, whether it's cars or homes or vacations or whatever else that you can think of that may be a material blessing. It can corrupt our thoughts, it can stress us out, cause us to have anxiety. It's just absolutely tiring. And this problem of materialism just pervades people's lives, almost from the point in time where they learn about what money is and how to spend it to the point where they get jobs and careers and they start making decisions based on getting more stuff. It's a really dangerous path to travel, and Randy gives us the kind of solution to this problem, and it really is to keep our minds focused on the end game. And the end game for Christians is that this is not our home, that we are not citizens just of earth, we are actually citizens of heaven. We need to have an eternal perspective on this kind of stuff. Another way to think about it is simply the idea that you can't take it with you. So whatever you get here on earth, you can accumulate as much as you want, but you cannot take it with you. You can leave it to people, you can certainly give it away, but you can't take anything with you to the grave. When we get an eternal perspective on stuff, it helps it helps us keep priorities correct, keep a good perspective on how important is it to really work our lives away, maybe even driving ourselves to anxiety and stress and burnout in order to achieve when we can't take it with us anyway. Maybe a better idea is to think about materials in terms of maybe some of them are necessities. We do need food, water, housing. These things are great things to have. But all the while realizing that there's a limit to what we really truly need. And when we keep that limit in good perspective, it helps us to align our priorities with the priorities that God would want us to have as we live here. So for this week, just remember, you can't take it with you. There's no reason in struggling and suffering throughout life to try to earn as much as you can just to leave it here when you go. So think wisely about materialism. Try to eliminate the absolute demand and desire in your heart for more stuff, and be willing to live with less in order to live according to what God's Word says.